everybody. How you guys doing? I just want to thank you guys on tonight. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to have this phenomenal woman, this guest that's on Sacred Healing on tonight. I just pray and hope that you guys will find all the information that you need. We were going to be dropping some jewels, but you know what? I just want to share a little bit about Dr. Adriana. Dr. Adriana, I've known her for quite a long time. I mean, quite a long time. I hate to tell our age a little bit, but I've known Dr. Adriana since she's been 11 years old. You were about 11 years old. You know what? It does not surprise me that this beautiful woman is where she is at today, because the young girl that I knew and still know on today in Sunday school, the smart, the only one that ever done the homework, and then he would come back and she knew all the answers. You know what I'm saying? She knew it. She actually took it seriously. And then the angelical voice that she had. You know what I'm saying? The singing and things. So I remember just your spirit at a young age, Dr. Adriana. You were just the smile, the glow, even as a child, and you still are the same, but you're just a grown, a phenomenal woman. And I remember when I was going through my journey, as far as getting my health together, and I remember going through all these different situations with my body, and it was just breaking down, and it got to the point to where I said, okay, you know what, I really need to see somebody. But because I came out of standardized medicine, I knew the approach already that was going to be taken. So Audrey's, we call her Audrey, but Dr. Adriana, literally name came up in my spirit, and I said, you know what, because I'm going more to a holistic approach, who better than I'm going to trust? Number one, I know her family, been around her enough. And you know what, I'm willing to take this risk on somebody that I do know, whose heart, it has a passion, even as a young child, has a heart for passion, even for God, even as a young child. And when I say that my life has never been the same since I've been under chiropractor care through Dr. Audrey's chiropractor care. I mean, she checked me in. We went through everything that we needed to go through. She was honest with me about how bad of a shape that my body was in. I'll never forget. Did somebody drop you? Did you have an accident? And I was like, well, dang, I started to think, like, did somebody abuse me as a child? You know, I
Right.
started going through all these things and thinking, but I remember going in there, I felt safe. But what the most resonated with me was after every visit, and I witnessed it not just with me, but other patients, you prayed over every patient. You asked them, do you mind if I pray over you? You were bold enough to say, I'm standing in my faith on this, because not everybody can do that. And I remember saying, yes, I am literally in good hands, because she's bold enough to know where this comes from, where this gift of healing comes from. And literally, don't get, if you can remember, Dr. Adriana, how many years was it since I've been under your chiropractic care? Because I'm going over this. Once I got treated, do you remember?
So I've been in practice for 9 years. And so it
Okay.
has to have been at least eight because I was very new in
Ver-
practice.
Were you not? Were you not? Okay, so you told me, these were the words that you told me. You said, Regina, after you finish literally with under my care. Now, mind you, this was an investment. I was under her care for a full year, and I came to see her at certain increments, and then it trickled down of how many times I got to see her. But once I finished, she said, you will never be the same. That your body that you knew prior to chiropractic is not the same body anymore. And when I say at 52, at being 52 years in a couple in June, I'm moving, I'm grooving, mental clarity, I'm in the best health that I've ever been in. And I'm not just saying that, all because I got that jump start getting my central nervous system into place. Dr. Adriana, can you explain how beneficial chiropractor medicine is, and what are the different concepts that you can take approach, and it's not just a bad back? Please
First of all,
introduce yourself, please. I want you to introduce, because I can't, I get my little portion, but I want to let you know who you really are.
so first of all, I want to say thank you for having me on the show. on the podcast. And
Thank you.
also thank you for trusting me at such a, I mean, as a fledgling chiropractor. Like I said, I was very new into practice. And even though I stood on what I believed, I knew that.
Yes.
So I know even now, the body is amazing. God created us perfectly. He
Mm-hmm.
gave us everything that we need, and sometimes we just have to remove the interference. So even in knowing that, I was still so new to practice. And so for you to come in and to trust me and to walk through that plan with me, and to see your life change on this other side, it just reiterates that I was where I was supposed to be.
Yes.
So yes, so I am Dr. Adriana Blaze. I am a chiropractor, family and perinatal chiropractor, meaning I see everyone from newborn babies all the way up through grandmas and grandpas. Um, because I absolutely believe that every single person should be at least checked by a chiropractor to see where their
Right.
body is and where their health is. Because what chiropractic does is it works with the nervous system. So the nervous system is your master system, controls everything that happens in the body. So right now we're sitting, our hearts are beating, our lungs are breathing, and we're not having to think about it. We're not having to think about taking each and every breath because our brain is telling our body exactly what to do. And so what we do as chiropractors is our job is to make sure that the connection from brain to body and body to brain is working without any interference. We do that through the spine. So we're known for being spine doctors, so
Mm-hmm.
to speak. And the reason why we're looking at the spine is because our brain and our spinal cord are encased in bone. So if that system is so important that God put it around bone, hard bone,
Right.
what we're looking for is any misalignments in the spine, in the cranium that may be interfering with that brain to body connection. And so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those misalignments, looking to correct those misalignments so that the body can do exactly what God designed it to do. So, yes, people come in with neck pain, back pain, but people also come in and on the back end, they're saying, well, this wasn't what I came in for, but my blood pressure's down, or my sugar is down, or my brain fog is gone. I'm
Mm-hmm.
moving better. My digestion is better because what we know is that even those tight muscles, those aches and pains, the same nerves that control those muscles, the same nerves
Mm-hmm.
that control those joints are the same nerves that go to our organs, our major organs. And so everything heals. Our body is designed to heal. And so what chiropractic does is we're not looking to treat anything in particular. What we're looking to do is realign the spine, realign the brain and the nervous system so that your body can do exactly what God designed it to do. And that's what I love about what I do.
I mean, it's amazing. I remember being in a session, okay, because I remember clients would come in, but remember, I believe they were saying that they were feeling like they were coming down with a cold, and they needed to come in. And people think, what do you mean coming down with a cold and you're seeing a chiropractor? Can you explain that? When because they feel like something's coming on, and then and they're coming in to see a chiropractor.
Well, your immune system is a part of your nervous system. And so, if you feel like something's coming on, the best thing that you can do is to support your immune system, support your
Mm-hmm.
nervous system. And so, by coming in and you're getting that adjustment, what you're doing is you're clearing that pathway. So, whatever needs to happen, whether that means your body now needs to run a fever or you need to release mucus or whatever needs to happen, your body's going to do exactly what it needs to do. And 9 times out of 10, whatever you were fighting off, your body's going to fight it off a whole lot faster because now it doesn't have to compete with misalignments. It doesn't have to compete with interference in the nervous system. And so, same thing, we're just reconnecting that brain to body. I mean, we could use the same scenario of, and I used to do this early in practice where I would have people that came in and they would have like chronic high blood pressure. And
Right.
so what we would do is we would take their blood pressure before the adjustment and we would take their
Uh-huh.
blood pressure after the adjustment. And to see the difference, and I mean, we're talking a matter of, 10, 15 minutes to see the difference in their blood pressure number, to see their blood pressure drop so quickly. It just reiterates the fact that our body
Right.
knows what to do. It wants to heal. We just have to remove the interference.
Now, I have a question too,
Hmm.
since we're saying about high blood pressure. How about people with diabetes?
Same thing happens. So diabetes is controlled by the nervous system. Usually diabetes it's either a sugar handling issue or it's a
Mhm.
pancreas issue. And the pancreas is controlled by the brain and nervous system. How your body absorbs and uses the sugar that you bring into your body is controlled by the nervous system. And so what we do is we're putting that system at ease. We're removing anything that may be interfering with your pancreas sending signals to the brain and your brain sending signals back to the pancreas to tell it what to do.
Right.
One Yes, obviously, chiropractic is a piece of it. So I always like to talk about stress. So,
Okay.
and when I say stress, I'm talking about physical, chemical, and emotional stress. So with the chiropractic adjustment, we're addressing that physical stress. So that physical misalignment, that physical interference. The other part of that is so the chemical and the emotional piece. And
Yeah.
so a big part of what I do in the practice as well is looking at nutrition. We're looking at nutrition, we're looking at chemical imbalance, we're looking at toxins, so parasites, mold, viruses, things of that nature that also play a role into that stress bucket. What we know is that the brain can only handle so much. And so I like to think of it as a cup. So we all have this cup, and
Mm-hmm.
into that cup, we put our stressors. So physical, chemical, emotional stress. Once that cup is full, it begins to
Mm-hmm.
overflow. And that overflow can show up as symptoms, whether it be physical symptoms, it may show up as visceral symptoms, so organs, so dis-ease in the body. And so what chiropractic does from a physical perspective is I feel like it gives you a bigger cup so that your body can handle more stress and it has time to get rid of that stress. And then as we start to add on, so the nutrition piece, the supplement piece,
Right.
just changing the lifestyle, the chiropractic lifestyle as a your
And then
body.
you also emphasize nutrition because that was part of my when I
Oh
checked in.
yeah.
You had to you were looking at my diet. Okay, what are you eating? What are you doing?
Like
How much
no.
exercise are you doing? What is it? I mean, because they don't think about that either. When you come in, it's not. I'm just going to be popping your bag. Oh no, we're going to see what you're eating too.
Absolutely. We have to. Because if you're putting in bad stuff, your body's going to assimilate that into your cells, so into your organs, into your
Hmm.
joints. And so making sure that your body gets exactly what it needs and it's getting rid of what it doesn't is super important. Um,
Right.
I like to be real specific about it. So I used to, so there are tons. I get people all the time sending me pictures of supplements, asking me about something that they saw on the market. There are tons of supplements out there, but everything that's good is not good for
No,
everyone. And so
isn't that the truth?
specificity is so, so important. So I mean, and that's one of the things that I've developed over the years is just figuring out how to be as specific as possible. So we even offer testing where we can specifically say, okay, these are the things that your body is sensitive to. These
Right.
are from a food and a supplement perspective, and it's specific to what your body needs because it's your samples. And so just things like that. So marrying the physical, the chiropractic piece
Yes.
with nutrition, with listen, sometimes I have to put on my counselor hat.
Right. Right.
Because the emotional piece plays a role in there. So we talk a lot about so like prayer, meditation, listening to music, things like that, like honestly reconnecting with the source of all healing, which is God. Um at
Say
the
it, Audrey. Say it, girl.
I prayed over you when you would come in and get adjusted. I still
Yes.
do that to this day. To this day, every single patient, every that comes into my office that lays on my table, I
Yes.
always ask, do you mind if I pray over you? I've had some people say no at the beginning. I've had
I can see that. Yeah.
and they're like, oh no 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 no, like I'm okay. And
Right.
then they come back a few visits later and it's like, well, you know what, if it works for everybody else, then maybe
Exactly, honey. And listen, they get to that point like, hey, whatever works right now.
I am not doing this. This is all God.
I know it
This
is. I know it
entire
is.
journey has been all God.
And another thing too, which people may not know as well, but can you explain just a little bit too about how coming to see a chiropractor also helps with mental health for people who have different mental health diseases?
So one thing that we know is that when there's a misalignment in the nervous system, specifically upper cervical, it's a scrambling of the signal from the brain into your end organs. So that can affect so chemical imbalance, that can affect brain fog, that can affect how your body processes information. And so a big thing, even that we do, with children is once we get the spine realigned, it's just reintroducing those stressors to get the brain. So we need the brain to calm down. But what we need to do sometimes is we need to remove major stressors,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
allow the body to come to ease, and then reintroduce those stressors. So when it comes to mental health, when it comes to brain fog, when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to and part of that too is the chemical imbalance. Um, Inflammation in the brain, inflammation in the
Right.
body going to ramp up. So symptoms that mimic, so ADD, ADHD, autism, things like that. And so by putting all those pieces back together, what we do is honestly, every disease, every
Everything's Audrey.
and
Say it,
it
girl.
all comes back to the brain has to be able to talk to the body has to be able to talk to the brain, and there can't be any interference in it doing that, because obviously there's no way. It's like, it's almost like talk it's like if I was talking to you like this with my hand over my mouth, so you may catch bits and pieces of what I'm saying.
Right?
So we remove that hand, we remove the interference, and then it just clears things up. And so, I mean, I see this in kids all the time. I see parents
Wow.
come, kids come in and they're like, yeah, they said my kid has ADD, my kid has ADHD. They want to put them on medications. They want to do this, they want to do that. And I was like, okay, let's get them adjusted. That's where we start. And then it's like, okay,
Yes.
we're getting them adjusted. They're coming in and they're calmer. They're
Huh?
expressing themselves, so they're expressing their emotions in a positive way. And then we say, okay, well, now let's look at their diet. It's like, okay, well, what are they what do we need to
Oh,
get rid of? A
exactly.
lot of it is sugar. A lot of it is sugar. Diet, so addressing the physical, chemical, emotional stressors that are interfering with the body's ability to heal. Yeah, God did
It's
it. He
amazing.
did a
I mean,
great.
it's amazing. It's amazing. Now, Audrey, I need you to tell me. I mean, tell the people your testimony, because this also comes into where you're at today. Not only being a woman, but being a woman and owning her own business. Because when I came to you, you were working for somebody. You were just starting off, and this place that you were going to was phenomenal. They wanted you. You know what I'm saying? It was going to be for a new beginning. Please just, can you please just give me your testimony because of what you believed in and you wholeheartedly kept going and where you are today just in that?
So I know for sure that this was a God journey. Even before that point, I was on track to go to med school. I was gonna go and be just like a general medical doctor. And even in that, I kept running into so many hurdles. And around that same
Hmm.
time, I met a recruiter from Life University, and he
Keep
was
talking.
talking
I'm just reading the comments.
about chiropractic and how, the body heals itself. It doesn't need any help. It just needs no interference. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me. And so even just going from the medical route, or the normal medical route, the allopathic medical route, into alternative medicine,
Yes.
was a God thing. And yes, like you said, I started out, I was working out of another chiropractor's office, with my fledgling little business. And from there, I went to work in another office. So this office I actually interned in. And so when he was in the process of wanting to sell the practice, but he just needed someone to come and run it, until he could sell it. And so I'm like, okay. So I go in and I'm running the office, and I mean, I'm there like 6 months, a year, 18 months, and he had no buyer. And that was when COVID hit.
That's right.
That was when COVID hit. And so when COVID hit, he basically came to me and he said, you know what? I have to sell this practice or I'm going to close the doors. And I'm like, well, that you can't
That
do
can't
that.
happen.
I'm attached to the patients. Um,
Right.
so we started negotiating. We started talking about price, and he came to me with a price, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go home and pray about it because it just didn't sit well with me. And so that's what I did. I went home, I prayed about it, and I was like, I don't think this is right, because it just didn't sit well with me. So we came back to him. I was like, you know what? I don't think this is the right move for me right now.
Uh-huh.
But we'll see what happens. And I kid you not, probably maybe 2 weeks later, he came back and he cut the price in half.
Okay now. Look at God. Okay now.
On top of that, he was like, "You don't have to loan. I will self finance it." So I didn't have to get a loan to buy the practice. He self-financed it. And
Look
what
at
I'm
God. Come
so
on, come on.
of this year, my practice will be paid off.
Did we say it again? How long have you had it?
So it'll be 5 years in
5 years.
July.
And in 5 years, you'll be paid off.
It's paid off.
No
Yeah.
debt.
I didn't have to take any loans or anything. And so this is how I know, like,
Kind of
this was
tell
a,
you.
I can't
Well, can
imagine
I
what
give
my,
you a testimony while you're giving your testimony?
please.
During COVID, you're no, this is no lie, Audrey. This is how I know this is an alignment, okay? Because of our faith. You were buying a practice and doggone near COVID. In COVID, I was buying a house. And not only that, I had people tell me that business was going to close up because I had to get these loans and all this PPP loans and all this other stuff.
Huh?
I'm still standing today in my house, no
Absolutely.
loans taken out, and my business is thriving. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
already know. You already know, sis. We stand on who we believe, and that ain't nothing but God.
Absolutely. Even in, I mean, and this is, kind of a segue, but even in, everything that's going on right now with the economy, like, I'm
Right.
not stressed. I'm not worried about it because recession don't mean nothing to God.
Hello. Can we tell somebody, Audrey, Dr. Audrey? Can we tell somebody?
Means absolutely nothing to God.
Nothing
His plan does not change. His plan doesn't change because of what's going on in the world.
at
He
all.
he's got
People
it.
are still being healed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People are being healed, like, businesses are being started. So
Right.
this is definitely not the time to, shy away and be afraid. Like, God is God no matter what's going on.
No
So,
matter what, no matter what. And that's what I love about you, Dr. Audrey, because this is more than just a business for you. You see what I'm saying? It's the bigger picture of you seeing people who actually come in, they need help, and you are a vessel, and you know you're a vessel. Like God is literally using this brain of yours that He created.
yes.
He's literally using these hands of yours that He created to help facilitate healing.
Absolutely. If people say miracles don't still happen, that's not true. He's still
Well,
doing
I'm a miracle standing, okay? So I like I say is, I know what I was literally, I just didn't bring Dr. Audrey on. I was one of her patients. So I know where my body was before, and I know where my body is today. And I'm not the same person.
absolutely.
I haven't been the same person.
Mm.
And because of the clarity, because my mind is more clear. I don't have the toxins in my body like I used to. Um, I just can't stop. I can't look back.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Once your body knows health, there's no
There's no turning back. There is literally no turning back. You become
absolutely.
obsessed because of, I've never felt this good. Oh my gosh, like I would have done this a long time ago. You know how all those things start coming through. I should have done this a long time ago, but we don't know. And we need to start educating and be more advocates out there that, you know what, there are other approaches.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like, I mean, honestly, I feel like chiropractic is the best first approach.
Right,
Health in general. I like to think of myself as a switchboard. So I have people that come in and they have, seemingly things that don't have anything to do with chiropractic, but they just come in because they're like, well, what do I do?
right,
Where do I go from here? And
right.
so even just in that being that sounding board to say, okay, look, this is what your body's going to do. We're going to co-treat, we co-manage. So I co-manage with MDs, I co-manage
Yeah,
with
you do.
orthopedists.
Can you explain that? Because you're also a doula. So what is that in detail? Not only just you do this, but also the most scariest moment, but the most exciting moment in a mother's time. You are literally walking through with their care and during the birth. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? She is walking through, she is with women, helping with their birth and treating their infants. Please explain that portion too.
Is absolutely one of my passions. I say that's my hobby. Being a doula is my is my hobby. Like you said, the birth process from pregnancy to birth to postpartum can be really stressful. It can be really scary
Mhm.
for first
Mhm.
time, second time moms because a lot of times they don't know what's happening in their body.
Right.
A big part of what I do as a doula or a birth coach is just educating them, educating
Mm-hmm.
moms, especially first time moms, about what's going to happen in your body, what's going on in your body. Your body is, like I said, God made our bodies so perfectly. It's really cool to see just how, like, our blood level, our blood doubles while we're pregnant because we know we need more blood for the baby. um our body creates an organ that it will never need again.
Right.
Have to think about that. We don't have to tell it what to do. He did everything. Um,
Everything.
so a big part is just getting moms to understand that our bodies are amazing and our bodies are designed to do this. And
Mm-hmm.
so getting to walk with them and take them from this place of fear where a lot of times like if mothers are uneducated, they don't know what's happening. They walk into a
Right.
hospital like, okay, I'm here, like what's happening?
Right.
But my moms walk into a hospital or a birth center or even a home birth saying, I know exactly what's going to happen. I know exactly how I want this to go and I'm ready. I'm ready.
You
And they
empower
go,
them.
they're empowered. Yes, they have empowered births. They
Right. There's a big difference now.
see that on movies, you see moms like screaming in labor and this, that, and the
Hollering,
other.
hyperventilating.
Exactly. Oh yeah. No, my mom's roar in birth because
Right. They're empowered. You empower these women at the most time where they're
yes,
very vulnerable.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's the most amazing thing to see. I still cry at birth and I've been a doula
I know
for
you do. I
yeah.
know you do. Now, Audrey, we have a few minutes, but I also want you, can you explain to how also perimenopause and menopause and chiropractor, because this is this is like a big trend that people I see,
Yeah.
and it's a trend. They think they know what they're talking about, and they don't know what they're talking about. Audrey, can you please explain to them how they can take this approach? Because women with perimenopause and menopause, how they can alleviate some of these things.
Hormones, hormones, hormones. Getting your hormones under control is so important. Obviously your hormones are controlled by not only so we think a lot about like your sacrum and things like that, so the lower part of the spine, but also the brain controls where your organs are, where your hormones, I'm sorry, need to go and need to do. And so balancing your hormones is very, very, very important. And that comes in physical, chemical, emotional. And so addressing wherever that imbalance is and getting those things in order is important. It's also important, and this is kind of the co-manage aspect. When you go, like, so let's say you go get your hormones tested at your doctor, your OBGYN, whomever, make sure they're testing all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So hormones don't work by themselves. Estrogen doesn't work by itself. Progesterone doesn't work by itself. Testosterone doesn't work by itself. And so make sure they're checking all of your hormones, and it should be a balance. So if your estrogen is high, there's a chance that your testosterone is low or your progesterone is low. If your progesterone is high, maybe your estrogen is low.
Mm-hmm.
And so figuring out what that balance is before you just jump into like bioidentical hormones or different supplements and things like that. It all comes down to balance with hormones because we need them.
We need all of them.
So what you'll notice is once you balance, if you think you're in that perimenopause
Yes.
area or menopause, what you notice is when you balance those hormones, your body may do something completely different.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's trusting that the body knows exactly what it needs. If you remove the interference and just listen to the body.
Isn't that amazing? And
Yeah.
do I have a couple more things before we go? I also want to explain to Audrey, Dr. Audrey, during her sessions with me and healing, she also educated me and brought me in to aromatherapy. I was first experienced to the essential oils. Now that I use today, now that Sacred Healing applies them in her products, all because Dr. Audrey introduced me to these things, and I'm serious. I mean, it expanded my knowledge, and even till today, I wanted to thank you for that because that's something that I also implemented as well. So I appreciate like this. Dr. Art, if you can give any advice before we leave, what would it be? And also, how can they contact you to get a consultation, information, all that?
The best way to contact me is either you can call the office, so the number's at the
And I
bottom
have
of
it
the
on the screen on the bottom.
you can either call the office or you can send us an email. So the email is frontdesk@exodushc.com. So you can send us an email. You can reach out to us through the website, which is just exodushc.com. And yeah, even if you're not in Georgia, I have friends everywhere.
Yes, you do. So yes, you do could recommend.
A good referral for a chiropractor. If you're looking for nutrition advice, I do nutrition counseling virtually. So we can do testing, we can do consultations virtually. I will also be doing on the 24th of this month. We're just going back to basics. So we're just doing almost like a nutrition 101. So healthy eating habits, and that's going to be via Zoom.
Okay,
So I can send out that information, but
please do.
you could email the office and just say, hey, I want to get in for the healthy eating habits workshop. We're just getting back to basics because what I'm finding is a lot of people just they don't know the basics. So that's the best way to get in contact with me. I am on social media. So Exodus Health Center is on everything. So Facebook, Instagram. You can feel free to follow me. Feel free to reach out to me there. And ask your questions. I love to educate because it's really the most important part of what I do.
Okay, now so don't forget that information that you tell me and send that to me so I could throw it into the personal health and wellness link that I have and make sure that when this comes up that we can all join and whoever's interested, let's join and we'll support each other and let's educate ourselves on holistic health. Dr. Audrey, I appreciate you coming on tonight. It really is a blessing. I'm so thankful. But time has to go. Again, if you guys have any questions, she gave her information. Please, like I told you, I trust her. And if I trust her and anybody knows me, I don't do a whole lot of trusting. But let me tell you what, I trust Audrey literally with my life. So, and I am, like I said, where I'm at today through God because she believed God. She was a willing vessel. And through her care, Regina Hutt is literally healed. But we got to go. Thank you guys for joining in. I pray and hope that everybody, we have so many comments here that, I mean, it's just like boom, boom, boom. I'm trying to listen to you. I'm getting excited trying to read at the same time. But just know, Dr. Audrey, they've been in the comments. They appreciate the information. It makes sense to them now. And we'll have to stay tuned because there's some more to come with us. But we love you guys. We believe God and we thank you guys. But we must go. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.
All right.